Hey, this is Spencer from Little Kids Rock bringing you the breakdown of another song that is on the radio right now, Believer by Imagine Dragons.
First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head.
I highly recommend checking out the Billboard Music Awards performance. What makes Believer stand out a little bit? Listen to that guitar part.
Ooh, the master of my CEO.
Often in popular music, we break up the beats into groups of 2, but here in Believer, it's broken up into groups of 3. Where can we hear this most often? In the tom drums. This triplet feel is really popular across popular music, from rap songs like Versace by the group Migos,
Versace, Versace, Medusa head on me like Illuminati.
like Rihanna's Love on the Brain.
Baby, you got me like that.
Your guitar players are probably going to want to learn how to play the main riff of this song. The guitarist plays it on a nylon string and then switches to an electric guitar for the chorus. You can also change the texture of the song by adding power chords as opposed to continuing to play the riff. You might also want to kick in that distortion pedal too. If you don't have effects pedals, a really easy way to get that overdriven sound is to turn the gain on the amplifier up and the volume down. Another element of this performance that I really like is the changing keyboard tones. This is a keyboard, not a piano, so let's treat it as such. In the beginning, we can use a nylon guitar sound and play the opening riff. Or we could just play block chords on that same tone. In the chorus section, there's some synth bass sounds, so we can pick something from the synth section and see what it sounds like in the low end of the instrument. And we can cycle through these sounds until we find something that works well for that song. In the last pre-chorus of the song, the keyboardist switches to an organ tone, which encapsulates that self-reflective message that the song is presenting. So we can go over to the organ sounds and see which one we like best. This is a great learning opportunity for your students because it gets them thinking about which timbres are appropriate on the keyboard and why. The basic drum beat of this song is something like this. Kick, rim of a drum, snare, then 3 hits on the floor tom. One thing I really like about that is the use of different drum sounds. For instance, there's no hi-hat yet. All of the higher sounds on the drum set are played by clicking on the rim of a drum. So we can play this during the verse. The drummer goes for a more standard backbeat during the chorus of the song. But remember, you can't have an 8th note subdivision because then you'd have straight 8th notes against that triplety feel. So we'll just play on each beat on the hi-hat. A more experienced drummer might want to keep that tom drum part in there. Or you could break up the band where one drummer just has a tom drum and plays that. In the later half of the live performance of this song, the drummer complicates the drum beat a little bit more by adding in a straight triplet feel on the rim of the tom, instead of playing that subdivision on the hi-hat as you usually hear it in rock and pop music. So you end up taking that basic beat and turning it into this. Playing that with a lot of consistency requires a lot of stamina, but it's a great expansion for the more experienced drummers. Changing timbre, changing drum beat, playing riffs versus chords are all musical decisions that artists make to send a specific musical message. So, what musical message are your students sending? Thanks for watching that video. If there's a current hit that your kids love that you'd like us to discuss, let us know in the comments.
Or better yet, create your own version and share it with the teachers on the Little Kids Rock Facebook page.
After all, you are the real superstars.